getting a boost in this. So I think with those few observations and learnings from your session, let me now bring on the screen all my panelists, and let's talk about what is that we collectively have learned from the entire discussion. And I think somewhere we have talked about the concept of and how uh, disruption can be unleashed if we look at the entire value chain in a very different way. So, like Mr. Agarwal said, instead of putting the school in the center, can we put the student in the center and look and design the entire value chain around that student? Similarly, can we put the patient at the center and look at how the entire value chain be redesigned? There is also an angle of culture that came in, and I believe culture has mostly been taken as an organizational construct. But does it have inter-organizational appeal? And do we kind of look at how culture and how such changes be communicated, and people, different stakeholders be onboarded so that it becomes a force? And I think Kaushik Da put it very nicely that yes, there is transformation and there are innovations, but can all this lead to disruption? So I think all in all, a very interesting discussion, and I would like to hear each one of your perspective when you listen to each other and uh, see some aspects being resonated, some new things being added. What do you feel now? Maybe we can start with Mr. Agarwal.
Thanks, Dr. Kapil. So I think, Abhay, if I just want to understand from you, so I'm making a
Yeah.
point, and I will make a point, and then I would like to understand from you. See, in the new norm, in the new world, there will be new stakeholders, and stakeholders will have a change role. My always focus has been on the weak link, that in our entire supply chain, who can be and who is the weak link. So what do you think, the way you manage the backward forward supply chain, what are your views, what and who could be your new weak links, which you need normally, which they go unnoticed, but we need to take care of them, as key stakeholder, otherwise they may kill the whole initiative and investment what we may do otherwise.
Very interesting point. Yeah, Mr. Vapna. Mr.
Uh,
Vapna.
so like when we went into this phase, first I thought like IT or my application are weak link. But initially after 4 5 days, I realized that we as a management realized applications, process, systems were working fine. What were the weak links? Weak links were suddenly there was lack of labor in the market. Okay, so manufacturing
Mm-hmm.
was not produced a different plant or different. We have plants across India, so each uh, by location there was a constraint of the people and the process. So wherever there were limited people because all suddenly went to their hometown. So we identified people who were there in the local uh, plant area. We gave them incentive, work more, gave them more. Instead of 8 10 hours they work more, and that was the first thing to ensure wherever the material was available, that gets dispatched through either to truck or through rail mode. That was the first thing. Now that was the first weak link which we had. Then second thing was like RM raw material was in our case it's a more of a edible oil, so which was available, but the constraint became, what was the constraint was the packaging material became constraint. Now how do you ensure? At that time packaging material was not a um, essential item, only edible oil was essential. And packaging material we don't keep buffer for many days, so we had to integrate backward with the packaging material, saying that, and my management spoke to government agency that without packaging material we cannot produce, pack and dispatch. So it went into reverse mode. So first was labor, second was packaging material, third was the availability of the of trucks in the market. Even though we had truck, but there was like constraint of movement. So whichever state it was allowed for essential commodity, but when the trucks reaches the destination, there was a problem of loading, unloading. So then we at different areas we have to identify different constraints and where is the demand. So again during this period we found that how do I get the demand, because suddenly all shops and everything is closed. So we came out with a simple mobile app which was used for societies to take orders, and order was delivered from our distributor or our direct from the company side. So each link, it's like more of a consent based modeling where we have to identify weak link, resolve one by one, and move forward.
Yes. So
Dr.
basically,
Kapil, Dr. Kapil,
yeah,
sorry, just one fine point.
yeah,
Abhay, it may be also critical to look at from, when we are getting into technology world and new norm, to start re-looking
So
at
initially
reviewing
we
our
are,
processes and people, especially
yeah.
people, who are normally ignored, to identify them as key weak links. Thank you.
okay. I think that's a great question. That while we are changing and transforming and wanting to disrupt, what are those weak links? And I think somewhere Mr. Bapna has very nicely put it that the weak links would kind of keep shifting. So you'll have to kind of play this optimization game through and through. There is no end to it. So weak links would shift and they need to get resolved. Yeah. So Kaushikda, you wanted to share something?
Yeah. So, my philosophy of transformation is there has to be an innovation and preferably leading to a disruption. So, my question to Sudhir, I mean, an observation that I have is this, this massive online MOOC, the MOOC part of it, which is the online learning, and a lot is being talked about. So, typically this hasn't been mainstream because maybe it's construed low quality. Uh, it's not being built by the fancy houses. It's being co-created on the ground. Uh, Now, on the other side, I see national education policy saying vocational education is a priority now. So, do you see there is an opportunity for a country like India, which has this need for vocational education, I mean, sort of the ecosystem supporting MOOC sort of courses, online learning sort of courses, and actually displacing the traditional, whatever 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 education system, because finally it's the skill that is delivering jobs, highly correlated, and may not be the education to that extent. Do you see that as a disruptive opportunity?
Wonderful. Kaushikda, I love your question. For simple reason, because, employable education, everybody has been talking. But we have been very focused towards very traditional teaching. So first thing, the focus has to shift on employable education. Two, we have to shift focus from teaching to learning. And three, I think somewhere I have been very very vocal on in my own way, that we have to bring respect for every job. We have to bring respect for every job, because pardon me for saying that, traditionally we have seen like IITs kind of courses, they have been viewed differently. I think we have to change our mindset, and that is where online education is and can be the only disruptor and transformer. Why? Because technology allows you to crowdsource content, crowdsource faculty, crowdsource student, crowdsource even the delivery mechanism, anything and everything in your entire ecosystem. It is the digital who can facilitate under crowd. And when I say crowd, I'm not saying we have to give up on the structured teaching or structured learning. Not at all. The role of teacher will continue to be there, but maybe more evolve like a facilitator, that they have to be, now come out of the teaching mindset and see like, how they can be enabler. And one more point, maybe this digital world can change can it make education as a teaching as a choice of career of choice? So like today, if you ask me at 57, I'm willing to teach. So likewise, if people can get more and more into education where they share experiences rather than traditional teaching. So to me, this kind of online courses, they have to be encouraged and respected. I'm using that word time and again, has to be respected by all stakeholders, irrespective of their current positioning or their whatever they have achieved, and follow that and support that. So does it answer your point, Dr. Kaushikda, or you were looking for any finer point?
Absolutely, absolutely. No, no, I think you instilled a lot of hope and optimism. So thank you so much for it. And maybe if
So
I have time, Kapil, a quick one to Mr. Luster. Uh, you talked about you talked about 3D printing, and I think that's one of the disruptor in the making. But for the last 15 years, I have been hearing. Bhavnaji talked about supply chain, and I always envision that there will be a time when I can actually 3D print my food, and maybe I need not worry about the packaging that Bhavnaji got. It possibly will be a download of the recipe and some powder that will come. So why do you feel some of these technologies, is it more from a technologist perspective that this gets slowed down, or is it something else? What's your view? That why
Yeah,
from
my
I'm still not a mainstream, although the technology of 3D printing has improved.
yes. Just